Did I get everybody in there? Public transportation. Anyone who lives and commutes in a major metropolitan city will tell you how important it is. According to the New York Times, in 2007 alone, Americans took about 10.4 billion rides on some sort of public transit. This estimated number has been the largest amount Americans have taken since 1957, and for good reason too. With the recovering economy, there are more and more men and women going back to work. Another explanation for the spike in mass transit demand are the ever-looming increases in gas prices. The positives for public mass transportation are endless. However, the three main positives that come from good public transit are lower emissions, an increase in jobs, and an increase in economic growth around transit routes. Unfortunately, there are some cities that have not been able to enjoy the benefits of a prosperous mass transit system. Kansas City is a major metropolitan city who desperately needs a major boost in public transportation. The answer for Kansas City's woes in public transportation is the installation of a light rail system. A light rail system in the Kansas City area has been a struggle for several years now. And after years of voting, Kansas City has finally approved the first phase of the system, which will run from 3rd and Grand to Crown Center. While this is a giant step for the metropolitan area, there is still a lot of work to be done. The system will be completed in the summer of 2015 and will escort an estimated 2,700 worth of motorized vehicles per day, according to the Kansas City Transit Authority. While this is a great step for Kansas City, it will only serve one small part. The next phases of the project are to be voted on soon, and our city needs to stand up and say yes. First, let me explain the idea of a light rail system. The system will consist of a lightweight train that are above ground, running along existing streetways above ground, as you can see here, and in your guys' handouts. All of the tram cars will be provided with an electric current, either by hanging cable or a charge line. The tram will run along existing streetways with traffic, but will have the right-of-way. However, because trams are so short in length, yielding to a light rail system would only take a few seconds. For the Kansas City area in particular, there have been several plans to propose the idea of using routes along the old trolley system used in the 1950s. A good example of the proposed Kansas City light rail system would be the already implemented rail systems of Denver and Portland. This is the light rail system that Portland currently uses. These are two cities with similar but a little bit larger population sizes. The amount of emissions from vehicles from automobiles has increased year after year, and rising temperatures is proof of this. As you can see from your third handout, that carbon emissions have increased significantly since 1990 alone. A great way to lower the emissions to get sulfur and carbon emissions down is the implementation of a rail system. The light rail system that Kansas City is proposing to build would drastically decrease the amount of emissions seen in the metro. An example of this is California, who is now proposing a new high-speed rail system that will decrease carbon emissions from 4 to 8 metric tons of CO2 by 2013. Not only will a rail system decrease the amount of automotive emissions, but it will also decrease the amount of traffic congestion as well. The Kansas City metropolitan area is extremely spread out, requiring a lot of its population to depend on automotive transportation, resulting in high traffic flow, especially during rush hour. With the implementation of more rail lines, we would see a decrease in traffic congestion. Not only will the expansion of the railway create fewer emissions, but it will also create more jobs. With all the new railways, streetcars, electrical lines, tram stops, and construction, the light rail system will not only produce more job opportunities for its construction, but will also produce more job opportunities for employment far into the future. These light rail systems are constantly under surveillance for mechanical and operational problems 24 hours a day. With a system that is constantly running, the city will need hundreds of engineers, electricians, fare takers, conductors, and rail crews around the clock to make sure the system is running at full potential. With all the new job opportunities, more men and women can get back to work and boost our city's economy. Which brings me to my last point. The routes of the rail system will bring more economic growth and opportunity to those areas. If anyone has ever taken a subway, streetcar, or trolley, they can tell you that the route, and especially at major stops, there are numerous drugstores, bars, restaurants, bakeries, bookstores, and coffee shops along the way. Men and women who ride the light rail system will want the convenience of shops, food, and entertainment close by while they are either waiting or departing from their train. This will give the opportunity for store owners and entrepreneurs to open up more shops and restaurants along train routes. This will not only boost the city's economy, but it will create more jobs and a safer environment around the rail system. Many people have not wanted the system because they fear of tarnishing the city's street looks and fear for security. While these are great concerns, they are not necessary. Technology and engineering have advanced a lot since these systems have first been implemented. With the opportunity to create a brand new system in the 21st century, engineers will be able to rid the streets of unsightly overhead cables and provide the best available zone planning right from the get-go. Furthermore, streetcars today have evolved a ton in the last 20 years. Nowadays, they are designed not only to be environmentally friendly, but to blend in with the surrounding city as if they were part of it. This is the Simmons streetcar, which you guys can see will be implemented for the Kansas City light rail system. It fully runs on electricity. Furthermore, streetcars today have evolved a ton in the Security is always an issue, and a good one at that. However, all stations and trains will be provided with on-site security and conductors. People who cause a disturbance will be detained immediately and effectively with the safety of the public in mind. While Kansas City has a bus system, it has not done a great job of providing public transportation. In 2008, I personally made a documentary about men and women who ride the transit system throughout the Kansas City metro area, and was met with overall negative reviews from both passengers and drivers alike. With the implementation of a light rail system, our public transportation will see great improvement. Along with this improvement, Kansas City will see an improvement in economy, air emissions, and job opportunities. In order for this city to continue to grow and stay competitive, we must implement more phases to our light rail system and grow from this route you see here to a much wider, larger route throughout the entire city, running from the airports to the suburbias far south and far west and east. Thank you. Yay. Sorry, Beamer.